Hi, I'm Sasha, owner and creator of the Little Dog Retreat, and you have found the best place for little dog holistic health training and wellness. So today we're going to talk about how to help a surviving pet when another pet passes away. So there's kind of two rules of thumb here. First and foremost, your dog may go through and actually display symptoms of depression, symptoms of anxiety. The second rule of thought is that your dog actually might be excited and happy that the other pup is no longer with you. So I'll address both of these. First and foremost, if your dog is going through canine depression, it is very important that you socialize your pup, not just with other dogs, but with lots of extrasensory stimuli. So socializing your dog can be getting some new toys, getting some new games, bringing them to a park, bringing them to a different walking setting. So if you are consistently going on a certain walking routine, switch up the walking routine, make it more interesting for them. You can also create a dog garden, link down below. We offer that as one of our courses. Most importantly, you're going to want to get your dog stimulated. This will help with their transition process. That being said, they will kind of go through an ebb and flow process. There's usually the initial phase where they are anxious, especially if you brought your dog out and they were living when they left and they did not return with you. That is going to bring a lot of anxiety and confusion to your dog that is still living. The general rule of thumb is I personally believe that dogs are much more aware of what is going on than we give them credit for. It is always all right to explain to your dog what actually transpired, what actually occurred. This is good for both you therapeutically and for your dog. It's a wonderful coping mechanism. A lot of times as humans, we kind of hold on to that and we think, oh, our dog might be having some symptoms, they might be sad, they might be a little bit depressed. We don't want to actually empathize with our dog on the same level. We think, well, they're still a dog. This is really, really cathartic and therapeutic if you actually start talking to your dog, especially about any guilt that you might feel, or sort of what if I had waited longer, what if they had had a recovery or a turnaround. This really helps, and it also will bring a better bonding relationship between you and your canine. So your dog, I believe, is going to understand a lot more of that information that we normally give them credit for. So by all means, start talking to your dog about what happened to the situation, what actually transpired, why you made the decision that you did. It'll help you, and it will also help your pet cope with the situation. And then above all else, get out and do something social. Even if you're just going on a new walking routine, this will help switch up the dynamic that you had with the existing pup and kind of help create a new dynamic with the existing pup that is still living within the home. So that's for pups that are going through any kind of anxiety or depression. The second set of this is the dogs who are excited that there's no longer the other pet in the household. And this might be different depending upon how many animals you have. For example, we had Mercedes, Bridget, and Haley. We had 3 dogs and of course a cat at the time. And now we have just Mercedes and just Haley. When our cat passed away, you know, our dogs were actually very neutral about the situation. She was a very old cat. It was very peaceful. When our dog Bridget passed away, it was what would we consider a traumatic death. And the thing is our Italian Greyhound definitely went through phases of depression, anxiety, definitely had a sense of loss, confusion, what was going on, where did she go. However, our Pomeranian, who was kind of the middle child syndrome, she was very excited that the other pet had passed away. Not that she had passed away, but all of a sudden very excited to be the center of attention and get more attention and get more basically love in the household. So different pets may display different characteristics. So if you have a dog that's actually displaying no characteristics or concerned that a pet has left the home, that is okay. Don't feel upset. Don't feel bad for the pup that is gone. Just remember that that dog is a living dog and needs and wants more attention, which is fantastic. So take your dog on more walks, maybe cuddle with them more, let them sit on your lap. We had a very high needs Chihuahua, and so she needed a lot of attention, especially towards the end of her life. And we didn't neglect our other dogs, but there was definitely a sense of slight relief that we were no longer having to do all of the things we had to do with our Chihuahua. And our Pomeranian was very excited to reap the benefits of having more attention and love. The other caveat to this is if your pup passes away within your home, for instance, in their sleep or a unexpected death. The reality of this is that we really don't know how our pets are going to leave us. We don't know how their death is going to come. We don't know when it's going to come. So no matter what, even if you have a pet that you've been thinking, any day now. It could be any moment. What should I do about this? It always kind of comes at a surprise. And you may be more surprised than you expect, even if you had been mentally preparing for this moment to come. I always advise people to, number one, take the bedding of the pet that is no longer with you and let your other animals or let your other pets smell the bed. Having it in the home is still okay. One thing that we do for our family is we created a pet ofrenda, and every single year we celebrate the animals and the pets that have been a part of our lives that are no longer with us. It's a wonderful way to therapeutically kind of remember and enjoy the life of your pet without having a lot of the sorrow. And it is also just a wonderful reminder that you can keep some of those things that were theirs, that were special, for your pet ofrenda. I'll put a link down below so you can kind of get a sense of what that is if you're not familiar with pet ofrenda. We also celebrate the Day of the Dead, which is a couple days where we celebrate the life of those who are no longer with us. Now, that being said, as a human, it is, in my personal opinion, highly recommended to not toss the things of your older pet who has passed out yet. So give yourself time. In my experience, it takes roughly about a year to really mourn fully the loss of your pet, even when you are expecting them to pass, even when they've passed in your home, or if you've made the decision to bring them in or have a vet come to you and let them go. The reality of this is that as humans, we hold a lot of guilt in this area of whether or not we let them go too soon. Did we do the right decision? Having their belongings with you just a little bit longer is a wonderful way to kind of ease and flow the sadness and any of the anxiety, any of the questioning, kind of before you let the actual items go. So don't feel rushed to let go of the items. Allow your other pets in the home to walk past them, maybe even reclaim them. You might have a dog that really loves a toy and it reminds them of the other dog, and that is okay. So don't necessarily toss everything out. Let your other dogs also mourn and enjoy the items as well. So with that being said, if you are looking for more information about how to work with your elderly and aging pups, check out the playlist down below. And thank you so much for watching. Your support means a lot to us. Definitely check out our link for our mental health training and wellness. And thanks for watching.